Okay, everyone, so what I wanted to do was to just, rather than just show you the breadboards and the connections, I just wanted to actually come back to just the Arduino coding environment. I'm not sure some of you are familiar with this. But anyway, we'll run through it. So wherever you've been saving your sketches, there should be a link to a folder. And so that top left-hand corner there, if you click on that link, you should be able to find all of your sketches. When you are saving your sketches, it makes sense to use an appropriate name. So make sure whatever you're calling your sketches makes sense, that you can call them out later. All right, that's a given. Now, the other thing is what we call internal documentation. Some of you haven't been doing this. What this does, well, for me anyway, and it's probably going to work for you, later on this semester when we actually start doing some more advanced coding and you have to write code by yourself, because there's so many lines, there's so many words we have to remember, if you actually put internal documentation, you can refer back to whatever project that we did, or whatever sketch we did, I should say, and you can work out, okay, so what was the int command, what was the float command, why did we use pin mode, why did we use digital write, why did we use analog write? So all these things will become very important the further we go into the software interface. All right, well, it's the coding essentially. It also means that when I look at yours, you have got an explanation for every line, so I can see what I'm supposed to do. Case in question, here it is. Here's an example here, so we know we should be able to work it out. For example, that this is the 4 LEDs. How do I know? Because I've got 4 integers set up, 4 integers which are 4 variables, 1 for all of the LEDs that I'm using. We've got 4 of them. So I was using pin 8, 9, 10, 11. I could swap those pins over, and I need to do it there because down here I've got LED 1, 2, 3, 4. So whatever I change up here for LED 1, if I change that to, let's say it was pin 12, I only do it up there, and the LED 1 will be pin 12 automatically wherever I've actually used that variable name. That's the beauty of variables. Now, we know about things like pin mode. We should remember that. Pin mode, that goes in void setup, and it's what pin number are we talking about. In this case, it's an output. Later on, we're going to be doing inputs from pins as well. Not this one here, timing. So when we started to talk about slowing things down in a program or speeding them up, we used the delay command. Now, delay is an actual command in Arduino, but rather than use delay, let's say 2000, which would be 2000 milliseconds, we just use the actual, again, the variable timing, because we can change it. So if we decide that 2000 is too long, between our dash, 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 all right, or actually not our dash, this is not dash, this is our binary. So basically that means LEDs, all of them on, so that would be like 1, 1, 1, 1, and I think I'll put that over there, turn on, corresponding to 1, 1, 1, 1. I should have put that in my syntax, and that says turn on. No, it doesn't turn on, it turns off all LEDs. Okay, and what have we got next? Oh, here we go. So this would be turn on. So what this number would be, I've actually got it there. There it is there. It's 0001. So that would be off, 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 on. This one here would be all zeros. So I did it already at the top of the line. And so we had to do that right up to the number 15. I didn't do that. Okay, but that's what you would be doing. Think about other things. So I think I mentioned before, how do I know that this has actually started? So in this case here, it looks like I've got all the pins, sorry, all the LEDs turned on. That's my signal. I might have had another timing, maybe timing 2, and I might have actually had that maybe for 5 seconds. So it stays on for longer than the timing between each of the binary digits as I put them out. The other thing is, once you compile your program, we know we're going to tick it. All right. Now this won't run. All right, because it hasn't got anything in it. You notice, whoops, here we go. I've got an error down here already. All right, what's it say? Can't open. Oh, that's okay.
all this is telling me is that there's nothing connected to the COM3 device. In other words, I haven't got my Arduino plugged in yet. It's not here. I've just got my laptop sitting here. Some of you should be able to now debug for errors in your program yourself. Now, here's the things that I'm seeing people do. Typical one, you're forgetting the semicolon at the end of a line. So fix it, all right? You might put down up here LED, well, who knows, you might put down LED, you might put a lowercase there, all right? And then you actually start to compile the program, and you can see down here, what it's saying LED 4. There's a problem with LED 4, or which one was it? LED 3. Doesn't make sense because it's case sensitive. I've got to put it back to uppercase. Now I tick, and I'll get the COM3. Or I won't. If I try and push it now, I'll now get the COM3 because it can't find the output. All right. Little things like that. So where, have you got everything? And I've noticed some students are actually getting rid of the curly brackets for some reason. Now they've got to stay there. So in the void setup, that's the beginning of the void setup. That's the end. Make sure the curly brackets are there. For the loop, same thing. So here's my curly bracket, but right down the bottom, there has to be a curly bracket. So if you've got anything outside of that, you're going to get an error. I think I mentioned it already, but it's often a good idea if somebody's sitting next to you, can you ask them, like, Johnny, can you look over my code? Because I can't find, even though I'm looking at the error down the bottom, I can't find where the error is. Somebody else's eyes that are fresh sometimes help. So try that first. Don't come running to me, all right? I don't want to know if you've got errors in your code, because I'm going to ask you, how many people have you actually asked? Have you actually gone down line by line? Have you checked it yourself? Have you checked for semicolons? Have you checked for upper and lower cases? I'm going to ask you all those questions. So I'm not going to debug your code for you. That's a skill that you have to develop. All programmers have to do that. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. And as we go forward, hopefully that's a skill that you'll have in the not too distant future.